Is your 2026 goal to get into a relationship, to fall in love, to find the one? 2025 leave you confused, disappointed? If we're being honest, 2026 doesn't have to involve 50-50 conversations. They don't have to involve conversations about traditional values or roles. Those conversations actually distract us from what actually sustains healthy relationships. Before you even think about dating this year, I need you to have some rules, okay? Boundaries, not walls, boundaries. The very first thing that you should be checking for is emotional and physical safety. Before attraction, before potential, before chemistry, emotional safety and physical safety. Ask yourself, do I feel safe here? Do I feel heard? Do I feel seen? How does my nervous system feel around this person? Does it feel good? If the answer is no, then do not waste your time. You're headed towards disappointment again. Once safety is established, then we move into what actually sustains long term relationships: communication, family, health and wellness, intimacy, spirituality, the core foundations of our day to day life. That is what you should be assessing for when looking for your ideal partner, not their follower count, but focusing on their character. Now, I'm a believer that you attract what you are. So if you're wanting somebody in a certain tax bracket, or if you're wanting somebody in a certain lifestyle, you manifest that. You attract that. But when you're seeking a partner that is good for long term, longevity, actual healthy, sustainable relationships, you need to look at these things. Let's get into it, shall we? Emotional and physical safety. This means that you feel heard, respected, understood, seen. You feel valued in this space, not anxious or confused or on edge or out of control. That's not the direction you want to go in this season. Love should not feel threatening or unpredictable, even in times of conflict. If your nervous system doesn't feel safe there, then you shouldn't be investing your heart. Safety is the foundation that every other area of compatibility stands on. Family. Now, family conversations aren't just about how somebody's raised, how many siblings they have, though those things do matter. And I do look at birth order and family upbringing to help understand my partner. But when I think about family in this instance, it's about how they envision building your future. This includes honest conversations about children. Do you want to have children? Do you not want to have children? Would you be open to surrogacy? What about adoption? Blended families. Ideally, the kind of family that they see and the kind of family that they want to build should be compatible with the kind of family that you want to build. Avoiding these topics doesn't do anything but remove clarity and understanding of what you guys are wanting for the future. And that's, again, not what you're wanting for 2026. You don't need identical desires, but you do need honesty, respect, and understanding around this very long term topic. Faith and spirituality. Faith and spirituality influence how people cope, process, heal, how they deal with life's uncertainty. For some people, this looks more like organized religion. For others, this is more of a spiritual, personal connection or relationship. Your spirituality might look like prayer or meditation or living life by a moral framework that guides your decision. Alignment in faith and spirituality doesn't mean believing in the same thing. It's about having respect and valuing the idea of spirituality and faith being important in your life. It means respecting each other's beliefs and understanding the role that they play in everyday life. A healthy match feels grounding, not controlled, not judgmental, grounded and based in respect. Health and wellness. Health and wellness goes beyond fitness, but I could see how an avid gym goer would want to be compatible with another avid gym goer because they share the same interests. Health and wellness goes deeper than that, and it reflects how we take care of ourselves. This includes stress management, emotional regulation, and openness to growth. You do not need the same routines, but you do need mutual respect for mental, physical, and emotional well being. Long term love requires sustainability. So, have those health and wellness conversations early on and understand how your partner deals with emotions, mental health, physical illness, how they see their life in terms of health and wellness. Communication, the biggest one. And I feel like so many people just have challenges with this because here's my theory. Let's say you grew up in an environment where anytime that you were emotional, you were expected to shut down your emotions or to stop expressing yourself behaviorally. Right. And then let's say you run into a partner who had the opportunity to actually express their emotions healthily without any judgment or fear of not being understood. You're the person that grew up in an environment where you couldn't express yourself and you were shut down. That could likely carry on into your relationships. And now, when there's a conflict or something happens, you shut down. Meanwhile, the person who's grew up in an environment where they could express themselves and have healthy communications is seeking that same balance. That's where communication gets tricky. Communication determines how safe love feels when things are uncomfortable. Notice how somebody listens, responds, and repairs when conflict has come about, not just communication on the good days. Definitely check into how communication is on those bad days. Healthy communication allows for disagreement without resentment or retaliation or judgment, punishment, avoidance, withdrawal. You should be able to disagree with your partner and respectfully be able to continue on after that disagreement. If you find yourself in a space where things get unhealthy, then that's not the space you want to be in. Connections deepen when both people feel safe enough to open up and be vulnerable. Without good communication, chemistry, good intimacy, everything falls to the wayside because how are you going to talk about things? Dating with intention is not about being rigid or strict. It's about setting boundaries and having clear rules on who will and will not have access to your heart. And you should know who should and who should not have access to your heart by making sure you check off your compatibility checklist after you assess for your emotional and physical safety. Because you can't be compatible in a relationship and be healthy in a space where you're not emotionally safe, seen, heard, respected, physically safe, seen, heard, or respected. My name is Aubrey Ebony Williams, and I am your relationship coach. We got this. I'll see you on the next video.